Hey family, welcome back to my channel, Healing for Destiny. I'm diving right back into this 4-part series on breaking free from soul ties. This is video 3. So if you missed the first one, we talked about the knowledge. We kind of dived in on what are soul ties and what we're dealing with, and just a few tips and information to get you started in this series. Video 2, we talked about the renouncing and the repentance of the soul ties. And y'all, so today, of course, we're talking about removing ourselves from the soul ties, the common sense strategy. But it's not so common when you battling this stuff. It's like, okay, I'm trying to remove myself. I'm trying to move away from the soul tie. But God, it's just so hard. Even when I try to, God, some type of way, I get entangled. I get tied back up, God. I'm entertaining it, oh God, or they popping back up in my life. And so we gonna dig deeper in this. We gonna dive right into this because I already know what y'all dealing with when it comes to this part. This part is the hard part. It's almost like even everything else that we talk about in this series, it's like, okay, I can do that. But it's this part. It's dealing with this. It's overcoming this part, actually removing ourselves away from the soul tie, actually, cutting off that contact and all of that. So we gonna talk about this, y'all. I'm gonna get real. I'm gonna bring some transparency just to kind of help y'all and to let y'all know that I know I've been there. So I know what you're dealing with. I know what you're going through. But again, you will overcome. You will overcome. Follow these strategies and these tips and these tools that I'm giving you. And I'm telling you, you're going to be successful. You're going to have breakthrough. And you will be able to break free from these soul ties. So, of course, when we're talking about removing yourself from the soul tie, that means completely. That means completely. And you have to think about it like this. Like, I have to do whatever necessary. I have to do whatever necessary to break this tie. And it's like, when God delivers you from something, you don't go back to the thing that God delivered you from. Or if you sitting up here saying that you trying to get away from this, that you trying to break free from this, how can you continue attaching yourself to the very thing that has you tied? How can you keep entertaining the very thing that has you bound? No, you have to flee away from it. You have to get away from it. And I know that it's difficult, but this is why you have to make it up in your mind. This is why you have to say, you know what, devil, you're a lie. And you have to commit to the process. You have to commit to it. You have to be intentional. You have to say, no, I'm going to do this. And when we talking about removing, see, this is where we play games at. This is where we play games because we leave these certain doors open, but it's like you have to shut down everything. You have to close everything. When it comes to this, I'm talking about remove yourself completely. If you have to block and let me take that back, because it's not even an if. It's not even an if. This is what I'm going to teach and preach on my channel. I know other people might say this, that, and the third, but block. It's time to block. You have to do whatever it is necessary. Block. And think about it like this. Like, this is like, for me, when God took me through this process, like when I got to the point where I've had to block certain men that I've dealt with in my life, it's like, it's not about them. This is how you got to think about it. It's not about them. It's about you. It's about your sanity. It's about your life. If you making it up in your mind that I'm moving on with my life, I don't want to be connected to this anymore, I don't want to be connected to these individuals, then you can't think about these other people's feelings. You can't think about the soul tie feelings. You can't think about how they feel. And it doesn't matter what they feel. God bless them. But this is your life. This is your life. What are you doing to push the needle in your life? What is it that you have to do to make sure that you're breaking through and you're getting freedom in your life? Like, that's how you can't think about everybody else and think about how this stuff gonna affect them and how they gonna feel about being blocked, or you not picking up your phone anymore, you not entertaining that no more. Who cares? Who cares what they think, y'all? And I hate to have to go here with this, but it's like you have to go here with this. You have to. This is the same thing that I had to get to this point where it's like, no, No, devil, you're a lie. It's about me. It's about my mind. It's about my life. It's about my destiny. And if I have to do this, I'm going to do whatever it is necessary. I'm going to do whatever it is necessary to make sure that I receive my freedom. Sometimes you might have to change your number. Like, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but remove the residue, remove the memories. You got to even go deep as to like removing anything around you that's a reminder, anything that's going to remind you, anything that's going to, that the enemy can use, anything that the enemy will be able to use to like, put these thoughts in your mind, taking you into these moments. Like, you have to remove it. Like, girl, delete all them old text messages. Delete it. I know it's hard, but you have to delete this stuff. You have to let this stuff go. And then I'm going to come back to this, but I'm just like, it's almost like this, like, even when it comes to this, like, God is trying to do what he's trying to do on his end to bring you the freedom. To bring you the deliverance, to bring you the healing when it comes to this. Like, you don't think that God wants you to break free? You don't think that God is trying to move in your mind and your heart in order for you to overcome this? It's like God is doing all that he can and all that he wants to do. He's giving you the help. He's doing what he has to do in your heart. He's doing what he has to do on his end. But it's like, we have to do something too. We have to give something. We have to give something back to God too. And if God is telling you to remove yourself, if God is telling you block them, if God is telling you delete them off social media, don't pick up your phone, don't be sitting on the phone with them, don't go meet up with them, don't entertain this, then that means that you cannot do those things. You have to submit. You have to submit. So, deleting, if it's old messages, deleting old messages, I'm talking about even down to like, certain items or something that's like a reminder of these people, of this person. You have to rid yourself of it. Rid yourself of it. Rid yourself of, the memories, whether it be songs, whether it be an item, a gift. Maybe it's something that they got y'all. Y'all, I'm gonna be so real. I told you I'm gonna bring some transparency. I remember when I was dealing with my soul tie with the soul tie, and y'all, I remember he had wrote me a letter at one point in time. He had wrote me a letter, and I was going through the process of really giving it to God, of really trying to break free, because what was happening was, and this is why I know exactly what y'all dealing with and what y'all going through, because what was happening was, okay, I cut the situation off because I knew that it wasn't serving me. I knew that even I was dealing with this soul tie even after I've already had come into a relationship with God. When I'm trying to change and I'm learning and I'm on this faith walk with God, it was still things that I was dealing with, still things that I was holding on to, which is a person that I was dealing with. And so, obviously God was letting me know, like, this person is not for you. Even when I would deal with this person, when I would come around this person, it's like I would act a certain way, almost kind of like I'm dumbing myself down. Like, I don't even think like this anymore. I don't even talk like this anymore. I don't even do these things because I'm in God. But this is exactly why we cannot tie ourselves to these these unequal yokes and these ungodly people, these ungodly soul ties, because it will drag us back down. It will drag us back into the world. It will drag us away from the very thing that we're trying to overcome, the very thing that God has delivered us from, right? So, obviously God is like, no, you got to let this go. This is not for you. And I'm like, okay, God, I obviously am being obedient. I know it's not for me, even though I want to make it seem like it's for me. I know it's not. And so I just have to be real with myself, and I have to listen to you, and I have to submit. And so it was like a letter. So I did that, I went through the process. I did all of that. And then it was like a letter that he wrote me at some point, and I was holding on to that letter. Like, I kept that letter. So then I would go through these moments. Like, I would be doing good. I wouldn't be thinking about him. I got him blocked and all of that. Like, we don't even talk or interact or anything. And then, like, I would go through these moments. Even before then, even before I finally got to that point, I would go back and forth to, you know, I'm not talking to him, but I unblock him and text him, or you know, even before I blocked him, I would entertain it, like things like that. But when I finally got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm serious about this, I'm moving on with my life, God, I'm you breaking this soul tie in my life. And every now and then I will go through these moments where, and this is the enemy, this is what I'm talking about. We've been talking about the enemy, how he works. And this is why, like, when we have these moments, when you start having these thoughts in your mind, you have to bind that stuff quick. Like, you can't be sitting in that. You can't be nursing these old wounds. You can't be, you know, nursing these imaginations. And it's like quick. You have to be quick with it as soon as the devil try to put these thoughts in your mind. Because see, he will try to use things like loneliness. He will try to use things like, you know, those memories, those sex moments, those memories of them. Like, he will use anything to try to get in your mind, to try to, and all it takes is for you to have that one thought, and once you start entertaining that thought, now all these desires are coming, now all these other different feelings are coming. You've been feeling good, and all of a sudden you're feeling lonely. And we know that's nothing but the enemy. We know that's a lie of the enemy. Like, and then next thing you know, like, you sitting back and you having a moment. Now you know what I'm saying? Now you want to go unblock them, or, you know, whatever the case is. Now you want to go try to reach out because you feeling some type of way in this moment. Like, this is all the work of the enemy, y'all. This is all strategies of the enemy. And that's how you have to see it. That's how you have to see it. So it's like, as soon as that stuff rise up, see it for what it is. As soon as you start having these feelings in you got to start speaking over yourself. You got to be like, devil, you a lie. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not about to text them. No, I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not about to sit in this. You are not about to torment my mind with these thoughts. I am free. God has delivered me. God is delivering me. Even if it's something that he's still working in me, he's delivering me. And there's nothing back there for me. There's nothing that I need to go back to. There is nothing that I need to go reconnect myself with these people, with these situations. There's nothing. There's no benefit from it. There's nothing for me. It's dead. It's a dead situation. God, that's not what you have for me. You have something better for me. You have something like, this is how you have to speak over yourself. This is how you have to approach the situation when this stuff comes up. And so, like, back to what I was saying, I would have these moments, and then what would I do? Because I'm now having these moments, because I'm now having these feelings, now I go grab that letter. Now I go, because I'm saving it. I won't throw it away. I won't, you know, get rid of it for whatever reason. I'm holding on to it. So I will go back and read the letter. Now I'm all in my feelings because I'm thinking about the stuff he done said in the letter. Now I got me thinking about him. Now I got me, you know, having these old memories. Now I want to talk to him. Now I feel like I want to lay up. Like, you know what I mean? And this is what the devil does, y'all. This is what he does. This is his plan. This is his scheme. This is his strategy when it comes to this. When it comes to this. And we have to recognize these things. We have to be real with ourselves. So it's like, if you're serious, if you're real, then it's time to rip it up. It's time to rip that letter up. So at some point, I have to get rid of that. I can't keep going back to that letter. The letter was what it was. Okay, he wrote it to me. He said what he said in there. Okay, great. But I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of these things that reminds me of these people that's going to keep me in the place of these ties. No, I have to rid myself of anything that's going to pull me down, anything that's going to pull me back, anything that's going to suck me back into this. No, I renounce all of this stuff. I repent of all of this stuff, and I'm getting rid of it. I'm not holding on to the past. I'm not holding on to these old text messages. I'm not holding on to, I'm deleting numbers. I'm doing all of that. Because it's about me. It's about my healing. It's about, and then even when it comes to this, like, it's not about being mean. It's not about, like, you know, and another thing, because there's one thing that I noticed from this, from talking to other people, even like my own my own journey and my own testimony when it comes to this. Like, you know, sometimes when you're dealing with your soul ties, you be feeling like in some type of way you want to be connected to them. It's like, okay, even if I'm not dealing with them in that way, it's like I want to be connected some type of way. I want to know what's going on in their lives. I want to, you know, I want to talk to them from time to time. I want us to just be friends. Understand, you like, you can't be friends with soul ties. And even if you are friends, okay, cool, fine, whatever. But even when we talking about that, it's like, no, you got to do what you have to do for yourself. Like, you have to get away. Like, think about it like this. Like, if you never talk to this person ever again, if you never saw this person ever again, there's no beef. There's no ill will. Yes, you can care about people. Yes, you can love people and things like that. But if you never talk to this person again, if you never spoke to them, saw them again, that's not going to change anything in your life. You are still going to go live your life. You don't have to be like, that's what we have to get out of our mind. Like, I have to be attached to this person in some type of way. Once again, the attack of the enemy, the deception of the enemy that's making you think that you have to be attached in some type of way, some type of capacity. No, there's so many people in your life that was, first of all, that was never supposed to be in your life. And God removed these people. And think about it like that. There's a lot of people that you might have been cool with, or, you know, people that you done met in college, back in high school. You don't say 2 words to these people. You don't see them. You don't have no relationship with them. And has it changed anything with your life? Has it taken away from your life? No, that's just life. That's just the way things are sometimes. People come in your life for a season. They come for a reason. They, you know, sometimes God will use certain people. He will use them for your destiny helpers. Sometimes some people need to be used for a lesson, and that's that. But you're going to keep going from victory to victory to victory. You're going to meet new people. You're going to have new situations in your life. You're going to see new things. Like, God is doing a new thing. That's why, and when we put that on our mind that, God, you're doing a new thing, it's like, God, I can give this to you. I can remove these things. I can remove these things, God, so that because you got to look at it like this. Anything, you got to see it like this, not look at it like this. You got to know it like this. Anything that God is removing, anything that God is telling you to remove, that he's taking away from you, he has plans to replace it with something better. He has plans to replace it, to replace more in your life. Whatever. God is not going to take. And he doesn't have plans to add. And you better know that anything that God is taking, it's going to be much more. It's going to be much better. So this is how you have to know it, how you have to see it, how you have to receive it in your spirit, in your mind, and remove yourself. Don't entertain these things. Don't fall back in those old patterns and those old cycles. Make it up in your mind. I'm doing something different. I can't keep attaching myself. I can't keep going backwards. I can't keep entertaining this stuff. I have to break free from this. So y'all, I love y'all so much. Again, if you haven't watched the first 2 videos, make sure you go back and watch part 1 and part 2. And also make sure you go down in the description if you haven't already. If this is the first video you come in across, make sure you go down there and get your free guide, y'all. All you got to do is go down there and sign up, download. You get a free guide, Breaking Free from Ungodly Soul Ties, that's going along with this series. It's a takeaway. It's something for you to take with you outside of the series, giving you the strategy, just a guide to help you even further as you finish these videos, to really help you as you go through this process. I love y'all so much. I will see you in part 4.